Welcome back to Studio 17. We have a very special interview with a local barber, but you're gonna have to follow me. We're gonna go right outside. That's where he's parked. Rory.
Good morning, Shannon.
Hi.
Hey, welcome to Curbside Cuts and Shave.
This is so awesome. A mobile barbershop, literally right outside of KGET. Right. Tell me how this came about. We are switching things up today and heading out to the ranch to learn about the man who started the rescue, Zach Scow.
Last time you guys were on the show, you talked about the inspirations behind one of your songs, and you had some car troubles, right?
Oh, wow.
That's what you can call it?
You know, when I saw what we were doing, I thought there was a typo because I saw goats. Why do we have goats in front of us?
Well, so the show is a pretty diverse show. We also have a lot of boats.
Boats and goats. Honestly, it is addicting. I've been wanting to dink this whole time that we've been talking. Can we dink one more time?
It is. It's addicting. I'm happy to do it.
Whoop! Going back to the baby reunion, because I just think that's the coolest thing that you do. What's it like seeing the child grow, you know, from a baby to, 19-year-old, like you mentioned? The Kern County Fair is back. You have from now until October 1st to load up on fried Oreos, cotton candy, pet some goats, and dance in your cowgirl boots. We already got them on.
Like climbing their giant rock wall or this stack of Rubik's Cubes. Or if you're in the mood to get some aggression out, try extreme dodgeball. Test your skills with their trampoline basketball hoops. Or duke it out on the battle beams.
Oh, wait, Shannon, there's more.
I'm here at Jim Burke Ford in their brand new F-150 Lightning, and our sales associate, Kevin, is going to answer some questions for us today. But my first question, where's the engine?
Now time for our final pick of the season, and don't you dare call him Mr. Irrelevant, because this vehicle made a major comeback a few years ago. Another icon reimagined for the 21st century, the Bronco Sport. Now, all models have four-wheel drive. Miles per gallon, we got 25 in the city, 28 on the highway. 4 different driving GOAT modes, which you'll hear about in a moment, and then 23.6 inches of water fording capability. Kevin, what makes this Bronco Sport stand out? Wow, and I don't really mean to jump the gun here, but do we have plans for next year yet, or are we just going to get through the day?
I'm trying to get to 4:30.
It is night to shine, and we are at Crossroads Christian Church. I'm here with Naomi and Maddie, and we're about to strut the red carpet. Tell me, Maddie, do you have any tips for walking the red carpet? April is National Stress Awareness Month, so we are back at F45 River Lakes to talk with Holly about the benefits of working out and how it can help relieve stress. So, Holly, tell us why you like working out first off. I just bite right into it?
Yeah. There's a seed in there.
Oh, yum.
Isn't it kind of like a date, don't you think?
Yeah. Very light.
Yeah.
Not
Very
busy.
good.
Oh, yeah. I'm getting apple vibes, too.
Yeah.
And clearly it's been working because you have some award-winning wines, correct?
Thank you for letting us come out to your ranch. It's absolutely gorgeous here. I spent a lot of time with the puppies, so I'm a little scratched up. I was rolling on the ground with them.
That is the uniform for rescue.
Juneteenth marks our country's second Independence Day. It's a day that commemorates the moment when the last enslaved people in our country were informed of their freedom. Here to help us learn more and celebrate Juneteenth, most of our kids have returned back to the classroom. Research suggests that school-age children between ages 6 and 12 rely on snacks for their nutritional needs. Today we have Dr. Chada with Dignity Health Medical Group Bakersfield. You know, we thought it was time to try something different on the show, and honestly, I'm a little nervous for this, but we have our very first stand-up comedian here to tell us about his upcoming show. Welcome to Studio 17. I'm your host, Shannon MacNeil. Today we are kicking off the week with another concert connection, talking about a giveaway and revisiting the California Aeronautical University. But first, we continue our special feature on Tejon Ranch. Let's watch. So let's get started. We're gonna do Guess the Lyrics. Most of these songs you've probably never heard of, maybe, because you're pretty young, but we'll see. So let's get up the first question. we want you all to chime in as well. Our wonderful intern, Nicole, made some polls on our Studio 17 Instagram page, so make sure you head there and join the conversation with us. It would make her really happy, so you should just go do it. And it's super fun. We got some fun topics today. So first up, Kate, you want to kick it off?
Well, I think it's cool to note for our viewers, your dad was also a firefighter and does so much with the community, and now here you are doing it too.
Absolutely, yeah.
How does that feel, having, you know, kind of following in his footsteps?
Oh, it's pretty cool. It's
So obviously you grew up with gospel music, kind of got introduced to country. Are you making sure your kids are like full on, they know everyone?
Oh, yeah.
With the Super Bloom coming to a close soon, we want to highlight the beauty of our California parks and our state flower. Interesting to note because my mom, she lives in Ohio, so we're always comparing gas prices when we're at the pump. She always wins, so. Property Pulse gives us insight from top real estate experts in Bakersfield and takes you inside some of the hottest properties on the market. Welcome back to Studio 17. I'm your... Hello? Wait, it's National Pretzel Day? We have a Wetzel's Pretzels truck outside? Oh my gosh, okay, I'm coming. Thank you so much for having us. Or no, thanks for coming here.
Oh, no problem. Of course, of course.
So convenient. I'm gonna break off a little piece of this.
All right, I'll go ahead and break off a piece as well.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Thank you. Cheers.
The pretzel day.
And for when you get hungry or need a warm little treat, Teen Challenge has booths set up all across Calm. You can get tacos, kettle corn, or a fan favorite, their peach and apple dumplings. I get this caramely sauce at the bottom there too. One of my favorite parts of your story was when you talked about the American soldier and he opens up the doors and says, "You are free." I would love you to explain to us what freedom means to you. And who do you think has the best mustache on here?
Oh, of course, me.
I agree. We have to try this funnel cake too right before we leave. This looks so good. And which one is this?
So Ty, I'm so excited to finally be checking out the olive orchard.
Now let's talk about the taste and what makes this oil so special and so delicious.
Yes.
We picked up Benji from the SPCA so we could check out their brand new doggy menu. But first, we're gonna try out some of their drinks.
Ooh, all for all of us. Yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers. Yeah, right here. We're back for another taste tour,
And this week we're at Crab in a Bag.
which I've never had before, so I'm really excited to try it.
Yeah, it's gonna be super delicious. Not only is this place locally owned, but it's also veteran owned. And the owner, Carlos, got some of the recipes from his time stationed in the South. So it's gonna be really authentic, really delicious. Perfect first time.
I'm excited. Let's get cracking.
Talia Fisher started her nonprofit All Seated in a Barn to help save horses and donkeys that have gone to auction. Today we're meeting one of those horses, Frederick. He's also one of the biggest horses in the world. Let's take a look.
Yeah, so we are going to walk up and meet Mr. Frederick, and he is one of our rescues we've had for almost a year. We got him at the auction. He was previously used as an Amish plow horse, but also used for competitions to pull weight. He's literally one of the biggest horses in the world at 20.1 hands.
Hi.
Big man.
Oh my gosh.
He's a big sweetheart.
Wow.
And so when we got him at the auction, which you'll see from the before and after pictures, it's night and day. He came with a lot of feet issues because horses carry all their weight on the front of their bodies, their heads, their necks are really heavy. So at only 9 years old, he already has really bad arthritis, and the weight was pushing his bones through, almost through the bottom of his hooves. So you can imagine how painful that was for him.
Well, and to carry a plow his whole life,
Yeah,
too.
well, and to pull weight. So they'll have big competitions where they will literally hook these horses up to semi-trucks and make them pull. Like, and it's about whoever has the biggest, strongest horse. And so that's pretty much the life that he lived before we saw him at the auction. There was two amazing ladies who paid for him because he obviously was out of our budget. So they paid for his price, and then with the stipulation that he sanctuaried with us. And so he's here now forever, and we've been literally working so hard the last year to get him where he wasn't in pain. And like the difference, like if you see on our social medias of him just like running and bucking and playing, like it's insane. It's night and day. Like he feels so much better.
Talia Fisher didn't know she'd be helping horses like Frederick a handful of years ago until she saw the donkey that started it all.
It started over a glass of wine. I was with my sister watching The Bachelorette, and she showed me a picture of this sad-looking donkey, and I was like, what's going on? And she's like, well, you have to help it. It's going to ship to slaughter. And I was like, what? They still do that? Like, I had no idea. And so I was like, I looked at her and I was like, Margot, I've never pet a donkey. I've never seen a donkey. What in the world am I going to do with a donkey? And she's like, I don't know. We're just going to have it, and you're going to love it, and it's going to be a good thing. And I was just like, I don't know yet. A couple more glasses of wine. Suddenly the donkey's a brilliant idea. We got to save the donkey. Donkey gets saved. And once I got him, it was crazy and impactful to me how many people wanted to come out and meet Kevin.
In just 5 years, All Seated in a Barn has grown from saving one donkey from auction to now more than 1,000 horses, donkeys, cattle, and even a zebra.
How often do you go to these auctions?
So we go every month. It's the second largest auction in the United States. There are up to 800 horses there that go through in 2 days.
Yeah.
And so we're outbidding a lot of the horse traders and the kill pen owners to get the horses that we can to bring back and rehabilitate and eventually find new homes. We do sanctuary some of them, like he'll stay with us forever, but for the majority of almost all of them, like 95%, we work really hard to try to find them better homes.
Of course, Fisher doesn't do all of this alone. She has a whole team behind her, like Leanne Gelker.
Just from watching on Instagram, it's so heartbreaking to see the condition that these animals are in when you first get them. Can you try to explain what it feels like to see something like that?
To me, it's very heartbreaking, but I know when they get off the trailer, which is called the Freedom Jump, is they are going to be in a place of no harm, love, and they're going to be getting all of their medical needs met, their farriers. They're going to have peace, and they're going to get love and kindness.
And that's exactly what happened for this gentle giant, Frederick.
What is life like for him here?
Whatever he wants. Whatever he wants, he gets. So he gets tons of love and treats and supplements, and he's on a regular farrier schedule, obviously. And it's just really for him to relax so that we can continue. I mean, these are huge. And so we just need to continue to make sure that we're building strong nails so he can support this big 2,500 pounds of horse.
If you'd like to help other horses like Frederick, you can learn how by following All Seated in a Barn on Instagram or head to their website, allseatedinabarn.com.
And what would you say is your favorite thing about horses?
Their eyes. They speak volumes.
This week, we are bringing back Sergeant Barry Bongberg. He is a Vietnam veteran from Shafter and an author who was inspired by his late daughter to publish his book, Dear Mom and Dad, Letters Home from Vietnam. Thank you very much for your service.
Thank you for having me.
Of course, and thank you for writing all of these letters and compiling them. It's such a interesting story.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. So tell us first off, where do the proceeds from your book go?
The proceeds from the sale of the book initially went to Honor Flight. And they did because my daughter and I were able to go on Honor Flight in June of 2019. It was a marvelous trip, marvelous time together, something we shared. And it was during that trip that she motivated me to actually get these letters typed out and stuff. So anyway, I donated $4,500 to them in June. Now I'm concentrating on Links for Life. I donated $2,500 a few months ago to them, and I'm saving up again to make another donation, all in honor of my daughter. I lost her to breast cancer through the inception of the book. She was able to get the manuscript, but never actually saw the book.
Yeah, it's a beautiful way to give back to her as well.
It is.
Yeah,
and
flipping through, I bookmarked a lot of different parts in here that I would love to talk about. Obviously, we don't have that much time.
I understand.
But first off, let's talk about your time in Vietnam. What was your assignment?
Did many things. My MOS was 35L20, which is an avionics equipment repairman for helicopters. When I got to Vietnam, the problem a lot of us had is they didn't have any of the testing equipment or replacement parts, so we ended up doing a whole lot of things. I door gunned, I worked on avionics, I pulled a lot of guard duty, so a whole lot of everything. And we all did, when the parts came in, went back to my MOS. But we bounced around. And so it's just a whole lot of different jobs in a whole lot of different places in Vietnam.
And it's interesting learning about all the different parts in your book. And tell us about, I mean, I could imagine writing home was almost like an escape.
It totally was, Shannon. I wrote home, I was in Vietnam for 23 months. I wrote home 268 letters. I know, because I typed, and that was my little blip of time, not every day, but try every 2-3 days. That was my little blip of time that I was out of Vietnam, and I actually could put myself back home, and I'm talking to Mom and Dad. As you can tell by the original letters, I wrote on whatever paper was available. All of our mail was free. We just wrote free on the envelope, and yeah, it was a big escape.
Yeah, well, and it's so special that your mom saved all of these as well.
Totally special. Mom saved every letter. Those letters sat in a box in the basement of her house for over 50 years. I knew they were there, obviously. My daughter knew they were there, and my daughter's the one that said, "Come on, Dad, you need to type those letters." It was the beginning of the pandemic, and I had no excuse not to, so I got on it. It took me a year to type them. The integrity of the book is I typed them exactly as I wrote them as an 18-year-old, 19-year-old kid in a war. And I had to take breaks.
Yeah.
You know, because it not only reminded me of what I wrote home about, but there's a whole lot of stuff we didn't write home about, and triggered all of that thinking.
Yeah.
So it's been a real emotional thing.
Yeah, I could only imagine.
But it's also been a very healing thing. So yeah, I'm dealing with the Vietnam memories, and in the interim of all that, I lose my daughter to breast cancer. So yeah.
A lot of things.
Stuff.
Yep. And tell us about the expansion of your book.
Well, with the first edition, we have a copy of that.
Yep, I have the first edition.
There's the first
here.
edition. The first edition is just the Vietnam letters. A lot of things were written about girlfriends and stuff that took place before I went to Vietnam. And people would ask me, "Barry, whatever happened to this person or that?" So I started thinking, you know, I need to do a second edition. And in that second edition, I need to make it inclusive of all the letters from the night I was inducted until the night I went to Vietnam, and along in that whole process is when I found the cassette tape that was done 40 days before I came home from Vietnam. We transcribed that. That has a QR code, and that also
I'll show it to everyone. I think it's so cool that you did this, incorporating, you know, high technology.
Well, I didn't
So there's
do
a
that.
QR code, yeah.
That's magic to me, Shannon.
So we have the QR code here, and when people scan their phone, they can listen to you as...
And it is...
All right, I'm on a mission to pick the best pumpkin of the season. I'm here at Murray Family Farms for their October Fun Days, and while they have a lot of activities going on, the search begins now.
So I'm Steve Murray, and Vicki and I are the founders of Murray Family Farms. That we came from farming backgrounds in our past, but that we are first-generation farmers here, and that all of our lives, all my life since I was a child, I started out as a gardener and decided that I wanted to become a farmer, and that we went from growing cherries and going to farmers markets for our cherries, and transitioned up to here where we wanted to open our place up 34 years ago. And that now we have multi-generational families coming out. There's a lot of tradition and a lot of, you know, this is an organic farm, so people come out here because they want organic products as well. But that it has been a lifelong dream, and we're living it.
What does it feel like having something that is such a tradition in people's families?
You know, it's really gratifying because we're in a business where everybody that comes out is, for the most part, happy. You know, and so when we started, we thought that the fall was going to be about selling pumpkins, and we do sell a lot of pumpkins. But what we've learned is that what we include is a free pumpkin when you come onto the farm, and so everybody here leaves with a jack-o'-lantern, and so if you have a family of 5, you'll leave with 5 jack-o'-lanterns. That's why so many of the pumpkins in town come from here, is because it's free, included with admission.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
You got so many different types here. We have these little ghost ones too. I love carving those ones, and I've seen
pumpkins.
I've seen some really big. Like that guy over there is huge.
Yeah, it's called a prize winner. It's heavier than you are.
And what would you say is the #1 thing you have to do when you come here?
You have to take the wagon ride out to the corn maze, because then you get the whole scope of what it is that we're doing here.
There's no shortage of fun here. Discover new animals in the aviary, take advantage of photo ops, take a ride on a tractor, get trapped in this giant spider web. Ouch. Jumping pillow, vortex, apple launcher, dinosaur. Wait, I'm getting too sidetracked. Let's focus on that pumpkin again. And it wouldn't be a trip to Murray Family Farms without exploring the treats in the big red barn. Vicki takes me straight to the honey because that's my favorite.
And they're all subtly different, and everybody has favorites. I like this one because it's really thick, and it crystallizes right away. Now, a lot of honey, if it takes years before it crystallizes.
Avocado honey?
Avocado, yeah, from our avocado trees that are all over the valley. So we have, things that people don't often see in your regular grocery stores. These are very, very popular, and look how cute they are.
They're so tiny.
Yeah, they're little quail eggs, and people put them on the edge of their martini glasses.
There's also jam, pickled veggies, oaky pies, wine, gifts, and of course, organic fruit.
Persimmon cookies are really in, and so everybody shout out. We have them. And some years we don't have them until later in the season, but for some reason they're ripe kind of earlier than what we've seen in the past. So we have them now.
Good tip.
Yeah, and these little guys, little jujubes. Do you want to try one?
Sure. I just bite right into it?
Yeah. There's a seed in there.
Oh, yum.
Isn't it kind of like a date, don't you think?
Yeah. Very light.
Yeah.
Not
very
too
good.
sweet. Yeah. I'm getting apple vibes too.
Yeah.
Scan the QR code on your screen to get your tickets to Murray Family Farms October Fun Fest. After a long and gruesome search and a couple breaks to frolic in the sunflower patch, I finally picked the one. Now it's time to carve it.
Show off your creepy, spooky skills and upload a picture of your Halloween pumpkins at kget.com/contest. One lucky winner will get a 4-pack of tickets to Murray Family Farms October Fun Fest. Enjoy the pumpkin patch, spider maze, tractor tour, sunflower fields, and more.